It's 4th of July, y'all. I forgot. Hold on. Let me switch. Let me, you know what I mean? Let me get my Americana vibe on. We gonna go this way. We gonna do it like this. We gonna do it like this. Since it's the 4th of July, we gonna throw on the red, white, and blue, you know what I'm saying? Happy 4th of July, everybody. Disregard the little water that's on my shirt. Your boy was thirsty. I went outside and cut the grass this morning. Well, not even this morning, a little earlier this evening. Well, this afternoon, rather, excuse me. But yeah, man, what is good, y'all? What is up? What is up? What is up? What is up? What is up, man? It's been a minute, y'all. It has been a minute, and I apologize. I have been slacking. I have been shortchanging y'all. I have really, really, really been neglecting Yorktown, and I apologize. Maybe you've seen me on the Optimist Guides. Shout out to my brother Mike over there, aka MNTV Dad. You know, I did do a live stream over there with them, but I did not download the video and put it on my channel. So I do need to do that. Shout out to my brother Mike. Maybe you've seen me on my guy BD. I always mess it up. Big Daddy Beard Gaming. BDBGP, I think I got it. Shout out to my guy over there, man. I did a live on his, a beat battle, which was really fun. Maybe you've seen me over there, you know what I'm saying? Maybe you've been keeping up with the random updates I've been doing on my page, perhaps. Or maybe you follow me on Instagram and you see some of those things that I've been doing just out and about. But actually picking up the camera and dropping a vlog or, you know, even doing live streams, I have been so neglectful to Yorktown. And I apologize, man. I really, really do. A lot of you who've been following for a while, you know, your boy was unemployed for 8 months, starting back in October when I got laid off, and then from then until right up until I started the new gig, you know, I was very consistent with the uploads and the live streams and the whole nine, even shorts. I had a couple shorts that were running along, but you know, I picked up this new gig, which shout out to that, man. I am truly grateful. I'm excited to be a part of the team that I'm on over there. I really enjoy what I do. I really enjoy the work. I'm back in the construction industry doing things that I'm familiar with and things that I've been working on and I've been building experience with. So I'm super ecstatic and excited to report that to you guys. I'm sure you already seen that, but you know, still, it's I got to bring you all up to speed, man, because it's been so long. I feel like I owe you all that, man. So yeah, it's 4th of July, as we said. Happy Independence Day to everybody. You know what I'm saying? My dad is a veteran. My granddad is a what's going on? Shout out to my girl Nikki P in the building. That is my dog, man. Make sure if you haven't, shout out to my boy Paco, I am from South Carolina. I was born originally in Atlanta, Georgia. I grew up there for about 6 years, and then I moved to South Carolina, and I lived there ever since. Right up until I moved to North Carolina, right up the road to Charlotte, and I am here in Charlotte, but born in Atlanta, raised in South Carolina, and now currently living in North Carolina. But yeah, so you know, I have been so you know, just getting used to everything and learning the process of where I am and what I'm doing. It's been very hard for me to find time to just stop and record. And then the times that I was able to stop and record, you know, I was just really trying to enjoy the moment. Because when I tell y'all I be working, y'all, like I will wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, get to the office at 7, and not leave until 5 o'clock. You know, 7 to 5:30 sometimes. I think one time I did a 7 to 6. So, you know, really in there just working and grinding and getting it in. But even still, that is absolutely no excuse to justify what happened, man. I really miss you all. I really miss the family. I really miss Yorktown. And so we coming back, man. Obviously, this is a oh man, Germany. Shout out to Germany, man. Shout out to Germany in the building. If you're not a part of Yorktown already, then please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. We are going to be back on our consistent game. This is just day one. I just wanted to come and chop it up with the people, man. Because like I said, it's been way too long. I'm actually sitting here as I'm chopping it up with y'all. I'm working on my budget, and nah, times are hard. You gotta do what you gotta do. We will be, hey, straight up, man, straight up. Times are hard right now, y'all. And like I said, luckily I've been able to bounce back. But your boy took a really, really, really big chin check, man. And it's funny because I was looking at an article that was saying something about people paying for vacations and going into debt just to have a vacation. And I'm like, man, it really is rough out here, man. And the thing about when you come on this channel, y'all, I always try to keep it 100 with y'all. I don't sugarcoat it. I don't, what I'm saying, sit up here and flex and front and act like things are good when they're not. I'm not the type to just wallow and complain and things like that. That's never been my vibe. So, if you're looking for a pity party, that's not going to happen over here. But I am going to tell you the truth. You know what I'm saying? And the truth is, for a minute, your boy was really, really, really going through it. Like, luckily my marriage didn't suffer, or, we didn't end up homeless or anything like that, but we were really going through it. So to make it through and come out on the other side, I'm extremely grateful for that. And honestly, I don't think that the worst is over, and not just for my household, but for all households. Like it's really getting real out here, man. Like I was just sitting here looking like, man, I might have to pick up a second job, from 7 to, I may leave the office. I may do like 7 to 4 and then leave the office and go to a second job and, figure that out, because, it's real out here, man. The biggest thing is just loving up on your people, man, and realizing that, it's, you don't have to chase all the material things, man. Like I know a lot of my folks come straight up from me buying sneakers and all of that stuff, and I had to cut that out, man. Like, I don't think I bought a pair of sneakers. No, I did buy. I bought a pair of sneakers this year. I ain't gonna lie. I did buy a pair of sneakers this year, and most of my shoes I ended up selling just to keep things floating and moving by, just so we could have things, And again, like I said, luckily we didn't get evicted. We never was starving or anything crazy like that. The car didn't get repoed. The truck didn't get repoed. So in the grand scheme of things, the situation could have been way, way, way worse. You know what I'm saying? But we definitely took a hit. I was even, now, which I'm grateful for what I have, but even, it was a pay cut, and it depends on how you look at it. Let me say this. So when I was not working for 8 months, anything was a raise in comparison to what I was making then. But as far as what I was making prior, I took less money, but it was for the opportunity because I know there'll be more down the line. Let me catch up in the comment section because we active down here, man. Shout out to everybody that's coming through. Let me see. Here tuned in, but helping Brill with some work, so I'm listening. Congrats on the new endeavor. That's right. Respect the grind. Love from Germany. Shout out to my guy Paco. Times are hard. You gotta do what you gotta do. We will be here. Straight up, man. Times are hard. We back. Yes, we are. We are. We are. We are. We are. Hit that like button also. Please make sure you do that. Tara dropped an emoji. Yeah, we here, man. We really in the building. We really are. A lot of us are going through it. We gonna bounce back. And one thing about black people, y'all, is we always going through it. So we always know what to do. Like we ain't out here living like Daddy Warbucks or nothing like that. So to a certain degree, we are very recession proof. We're very hard times proof because we always live in hard times. We are, for the most part, 1 or 2 paychecks away. And even if we're good, there's always something that could just throw us all the way off track, and then we got to bounce back. So, that's one of the one of the perks of being black. You know what I'm saying? We always going through things. And so we know how to maneuver, and we know what we need to do in order to be straight and keep things moving. So shout out to all the black folks, man. No disrespect to anybody else. I'm just bigging us up. You know what I'm saying? I admire that you don't sugarcoat the struggle. No, and I don't do that because So there's this guy I watch. His name is Pocket Watching with JT. He is a financial accountant, and what he does is he makes channel. His channel is primarily based on exposing people that are scammers and people that are, taking advantage of people that don't have and they go without. And one thing that he always says, and this is where I'm going with the story. One thing that JT always says is, he doesn't do what he does just to empower people or to just do good work. He does what he does because he's extremely petty. And y'all, that really resonates with me. You know what I'm saying? I tell the truth because I get it. Like, I understand that we really be going through it. And then you get on social media and you see people only showing their highlights. They're only showing baby showers. They only post maybe 3 or 4 times a year because those are the only times that they go on vacation. And then I just saw an article today that says they don't even pay for these vacations. They're just using credit cards and going deeper into debt. So, for me, telling the truth and being honest, I feel like, yes, of course, it may help out some younger person who feels like they have to have things and they have to do a bunch of things just to be seen and to, make it in this world. But also, a part of me is like, bruh, I'm willing to tell the truth because none of y'all other people want to tell the truth. And when I say y'all, obviously I'm not talking about the people in the chat. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when I go on social media and I see all these people flexing and I see all these people doing all of these things. And I don't know everybody's financial circumstances. So I'm not talking about just everybody. There's specific people that I'm talking about that I know, you know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't living like how y'all posting on Instagram and social media. And I'm actually struggling. I'm actually making sacrifices. I'm going through the mud, bruh. And I'm gonna make it cool because it's the reality. Like, it's just so much fakeness out there, man. The truth is going to be cool eventually. And I remember a while ago, and again, no shade, no disrespect to anybody. I remember when the BBLs first started coming out and the big booties and the wigs and all the makeup and stuff, and it had its time. But eventually it just went on so much and it just got so fake to the point where people were like, yo, we don't even like thick girls no more. Give us the skinniest little twig we can find. Give us the big women. We'll take the big women because you know why? At least we know that they're natural. They don't have all this fake stuff and it's just like, you know what I'm saying? And again, no disrespect. You got to do what you got to do. I'm not knocking anybody. I'm just saying that there is it's cool to tell the truth these days. Like, people have been catfishing for so long. People have been lying for so long. People have just been building up these facades and these fake stories, and they've been doing all kind of crazy things for so long, and it's been damaging people's self-esteem and hurting people, and having people feeling like if they don't have A, B, C, or D, then they're not fully successful in life. And it's like, bro, you can be successful, and you don't have to equate success into the material things that you have. If you have a loving family, that is a form of success. There are so many people that can't have children but want children. There are so many people that want to be in a relationship but they can't be in a relationship. There are just so many things that, we consider to be normal that are really small wins, man, and we take them for granted. So that's why I tell the truth. I know that was a long, convoluted story, and I went all around the world just to say that. But that's really what it is, y'all. Like, I've been speaking to when I was unemployed, I spoke to a small group of kids that were graduating, and that's pretty much what I told them, the truth. So, yeah, man, the truth is coming back. The truth is real, and it's always gonna be real. So let me catch up on some of these comments. I'm sorry, y'all. I just went on a random tangent. Um, on Juneteenth, I gave a lot away to Goodwill. I want to focus on my businesses. That's what's up. That is dope. That's really, really, really dope. The professors in the house. Shout out to my guy Rich with the big gold chains and the glasses, looking like Mr. T around this piece, man. It's sad to watch that people are really trying going homeless. Yeah, man, like, it is real out here, and nobody wants to say it. Nobody wants to be honest because they think that people are going to tease them or laugh at them. I don't care. You can tease me. I don't care. I'll agree with you. Yeah, it is crazy. We are looking rough right now. We going through it. But you know what I'm saying? We gonna bounce back. That's the thing, you know, and we gonna do it the right way. We ain't out here trying to scam nobody. We ain't out here trying to take advantage of nobody or do anything crazy that's gonna, you know, just tear us up. We got um morals, and you know, we ain't out here just making content that's gonna be detrimental to people or just doing anything just to be seen. Like, that ain't what we do over here in Yorktown, man. We tell the truth, we keep it real, we laugh and we have fun, but you know, also we figure things out. So yeah, I love that we gonna make a way. That's all we do. That's all we do. Ever since we got here in America, we've literally been making a way. Like, like literally, if you ask, you know, if you ask what the culture of Black Americans are, or you know, what defines Black people here in America, and it's crazy that we're talking about this on Independence Day. But if you look at, you know, the history, whoever, like any generation of Black people that have been here since the first slaves have arrived, what you'll find consistently is there are people that have just been figuring it out, bruh. Like the slaves, you know, they would figure out ways to get back at the master. Just even in their horrible circumstances and the things that they had to go through, they would figure out little ways to just win. You know what I'm saying? You look at the after slavery, you look at the Reconstruction period when you know, the Ku Klux Klan was coming back for the second term, and you know, they were trying to keep the Black people down. They still found ways to win. You look at the first civil rights era when you know what I'm saying, the 1920s, the Great Depression and everything. You still have Black people figuring things out. You look at the second civil rights movement, the 1960s, when Martin Luther King and those guys were fighting for their rights. And you had the Black Panthers, and you had the Nation of Islam. You had all of these groups. They were figuring it out. And you know, that's really what I think is just our culture. Like here, and you know, there I don't really get into the African versus African American thing, or you know, all that other stuff. But if you look at African Americans here, people that were descendants of slavery, and people that have been here even prior to that, people that have been the natives that were here, you know what I'm saying? All we've been doing is surviving and figuring things out, man. Like, so just shout out to that, man. Hey, Professor, later on, I'm going to tell a trucking story on live. Man, I'm going to be spending some time with the family today. So here in Charlotte, there's a bunch of little small surrounding cities, and they do like fireworks shows and things like that. And then they have the big one here in Charlotte. Now, the one in Charlotte, that one's going to be jam packed, and then you're going to have to worry about traffic and all of that other stuff, and just large groups of people. So we're probably not gonna go to that one, but in like the little small surrounding towns where they have good infrastructure and things like that, that's probably what we're gonna do. I say that to say, you know, hopefully I can catch you on live today, but we'll see. I really want to, man. I've been trying to support everybody. I've been catching up on my Nikki P videos, and I got to get back on my girl Tara and see what she had going on. Listen, y'all, I've been listening to a lot of audiobooks, just trying to get my mind right. So we gonna catch up. Oh my God, he's extremely petty. Yeah, man. He is, man. He is. He is. He is. Didn't expect that one. It's the truth, man. People really irk me, bro. I'm like, bro, I'm sitting over here struggling. You know what I'm saying? Trying to figure out if I'm gonna eat today, or if we gonna get this little McDonald's meal that's freaking $7 now, or what we gonna do. And then I see you over there flexing and stuff. And I'm like, man, not you, Nikki P, but just you being random people just doing crazy things. And I'm like, bruh, oh man, what is a good time for you? It is insane that people would rather go into debt than delay gratification. Yeah, it is, man. And honestly, you know, for a lot of people, and the article I was reading earlier, for a lot of people, they realize, well, they don't realize, but they think that there is no way for them to get from under debt or to get out of things. So they just say, forget it. We just gonna run up this debt because we can't pay it back. We ain't worried about paying it back. And, you know, it is what it is. Let it go into collections, you know, and to be fair, I've had that mindset before, which is why, primarily I'm so focused on paying things down and clearing my credit and working on my credit score and building up a savings account. Because for a long time, that was me. I'm like, bro, if I don't got it, you can't get it. And to a certain degree, I'm still that way. Granted, I am paying things down, but I'm not about to let nobody bully me into doing it. Like, hey, when I got it, I'll make sure you get it. But if I don't have it, I can't give it to you. So you making all these threats and you doing all this other stuff, I mean, let it go into collections. We'll settle it. I mean, now, granted, that's not where I am mentally right now in this phase of life, because I'm working on clearing out debt and fixing things and getting my house in order and getting the structure together, which is why I've been looking at even picking up a second job just to kind of, help out with some extra little things and try to build up a safety nest. And then, of course, putting some of that money into some, ETFs and other things. We've been that's the way that we've been on, but you need money to do that. So, that's what we've been working on this side. What time is good? Let's see. God Family Business, God Family Philanthropy. Um, Let me see. Fatima Fatima says Free Palestine. I wonder, man. Okay. All right. Okay. Go for it. Um, you know, and bruh, we Free Palestine. I'm gonna say this. We got enough going on right here that we got to worry about. I Before I can think about freeing anybody else, I gotta free this house, and I think that's. And I'm not saying you're wrong or anybody's wrong, but I'm saying if we start working on freeing what's right in front of us and freeing our personal situations, then a lot of other things will help out. And if you can't free your own self, then we don't have the mental bandwidth to be trying to free somebody else all the way across the world. And that's no disrespect whatsoever. I'm not taking away from that. I'm just saying, for me personally, right now, the goal, we got enough going on that we got to fix before we can start trying to fix anybody else with anything else or any other things going on. So, okay. Um, hey, Fatima, tell us what you wish for. Paco says, can y'all give me some advice? Um, okay. Um, mm Let's see. Hi, Solomon. I'm Arabi. Okay. What kind, Paco? Yeah, Paco, what kind of advice do you want? I'm very skeptical about giving advice. I can tell you things based on my experience and what I've seen, but if it's I don't know. We'll see. Let me see. Um, Let me see. I'm trying to catch up with the comments. Yeah, I was about to say, "Dang, I'm flexing my life." No, I wasn't. See, I cleaned it up. I wasn't talking about you. I was just saying you in general, not you, Nikki. Of course not. Nah, nah. We talk offline, so I'm not talking about you. um, Paco, my girlfriend of 1 year is struggling with depression and it's starting to affect me too. Yesterday, she said she's not sure what she feels anymore. She and I both know I treat her like my whole world. Sorry for the sad bomb. Paco, look, um, man, I'm gonna tread softly with this, and let me first say that I don't like to give relationship advice at all because I feel like, again, basically what I said earlier, my own relationship is not perfect. I feel like there's a lot that I could work on my relationship with my wife. So very sparingly do I give advice because I am not an expert. I am not a professional. I'm pretty sure, if people do some sweeping under my rug, they might tell me some things that I need to do better in my marriage. So let me say that first. But what I can suggest, yeah, I suggest, you have to figure out what you can and it goes back to what we were just saying about, like taking care of your own self first. You have to figure out what you can commit to. And then also the other reason why I don't like to give relationship advice is because a lot of times people don't really want relationship advice. What they want is somebody to hopefully echo what they already feel or what they already think. So, take what I say as a grain of salt because, again, I'm no expert, I'm no professional. I don't know. I can only tell you what I think based off of the very limited information that I have. With that being said, you have to figure out what's going on with yourself and if this is somebody that you consider that you want to be with for an extended period of time. And if that is the case, then you got to figure out how you can get her the help that she needs, because it doesn't sound like you're a professional in mental health or anything like that. So, maybe she needs to go to some therapy, or maybe she needs to seek professional help to figure out what those issues are. And if there is a way to help with that, what that looks like, which somebody that's qualified should do. Asking me here in America for advice, I don't know, bro. I don't, again, there's just so much that I don't know just based off of the little snapshot that you gave me. So I don't really feel comfortable saying, hey, do X, Y, Z, A, B, C. All I can say is, if it's somebody that you seriously want to be with, which it looks like that is the case because you said that, she is, what did you say? I want to make sure I go with exactly what you said. You said that you treat her like she's your whole world. You know, then you gotta help her get the help that she needs. And I think she would value you and appreciate you for that. And I think that ultimately that is the best that you could do. But also, with it only being 1 year, which granted, again, I can only say but so much because I knew I was going to marry my wife in the first year. But I also knew that anything that came along with whatever she had, I was willing to figure out how to make it work. So, yeah, bro, I would say, help her get some type of professional help to deal with that, because that's more than you can handle. And, unfortunately, if it gets to the point where it's taken away from you and it's affecting you, then you might want to look at exploring other options romantically, because if you are giving more than you have for yourself, then there's nothing left. It's like a bank account. If you don't have anything to withdraw, eventually you're going to overdraft, and, you know, you're going to take from things that you don't have. And then eventually, the bank will cut you off. Well, if you don't have any more if you don't have any more mental or emotional feelings left for yourself, then you can't be supportive or give her what she needs. So, again, that's the best I got. Maybe you might want to go to counseling with her, or maybe you refer her to somebody, and ultimately there's only but so much you can do to help somebody else. You got to make sure that you're good. And if it takes too much of a toll on you, then you might just have to take a step back. I don't know. I don't recommend ETFs. So she doesn't know what she feels about the relationship or her depression or both. That could be the mental illness talking. I agree. Thank you, Curtis. I just don't take sides in the Israel-Palestine conflict. I'm not heartless, but there's a lot going on here in the U.S. Right. And again, it's not about being heartless. It's not about being cold. It's not about being cruel or none of that stuff. But it's like I just told Paco, how can I help somebody when, we got our own stuff going on? And that's not like, I can't send money to either side because I don't have any extra money to send. You know, I can say something, but regardless of what I say, ultimately that means nothing because it doesn't help. So that's where I'm at. We just gotta we got we got enough here. And then, the thing about that is, once my house is straight and we're good and we're taken care of, before I can worry about what's going on overseas, then I got to make sure my family's good. You know what I'm saying? I got to make sure that my mom is good, who's getting older, my grandfather who is older, you know, my immediate family, the people, once the house is good and everybody inside the house is good, it would be crazy for me to immediately jump overseas when there's people that I know personally that we got to help out too. So, that's where I'm at, man. I don't know. I I'm not a politician. I'm not none of that stuff. So it's hard for me to speak on external affairs when I got internal affairs that are way more detrimental to my livelihood and my day to day. So that's my position and that's my stance on that. I know that's right. We got to start with our own stuff before we start worrying about anybody. Right. Yeah. Pretty sure it's just a depression, but it's so hard on me because she doesn't seem too stable to me. Well, that's something that you got to look at, and that's something you got to take into account because, again, if you don't have anything to give, then how are you going to take care of yourself, brother? And that's, if you can't take care of yourself, then, you got bigger fish to fry. You got bigger problems. So, if it's affecting you in a way, then, all you can do is suggest her to get help. If she doesn't take it, then, you have to use that to determine whether you want to go down that hole or not. And like I said, usually when it comes to relationships, a lot of people already know what they want to do. They're just looking for like a second opinion to kind of confirm or validate what they feel. So, that's what I think. But ultimately, you got to do what's best for you. Um, Walk away if it becomes unsafe. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, definitely. Me and JT had a healthy debate on his channel. I would love to hear what happened. That is a doozy. I normally don't do relationship advice either. I'm far from perfect. Just be careful, right? Paco, you need to talk it out with that other person, 100%. You're not lying. Yeah, what Nikki P said. Paco, if you're not married, keep it moving. Right. Paco, you're telling what you comprehend, and we really don't know what you actually said. You need to get understanding from your partner. Yeah, Paco, she has the depression, and she should deal with that. It would help if she would allow you in, and she would talk about it. She's been in therapy for some years. Um, Bruh, if she's been in well, Paco, let me put it back on you. Let me ask you a question then. So, if she's been in therapy for years and the therapist couldn't help her out, what makes you think that you can help her out? Let me know. So, there's a book called The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. And one of the laws of power is to avoid the unlucky or the unhappy because eventually they'll take you and they'll suck you in too. And then there's another saying of energy vampires, people who, suck the life out of people that are full of energy and full of life until where the point where when they're done with you, you're just drained and there's nothing left because you don't have anything to give. Um, so yeah, again, if she's been in therapy for years and the professionals couldn't help her out, what makes you think that you can do something or figure out something that they can't? It sounds like she's either not taking therapy seriously and doing the things that they're telling her to do, or she just doesn't want to get better. Again, I don't know. I can only go based off of the limited information that we're talking about on, on YouTube. So I don't know. And I'm not a professional, so I definitely don't have the answer. But yeah, that's all I can say. If they can't figure it out, if they can't help her or make her feel better, then what makes you think you can? Yeah, Professor, I live with that. Things are better now, but I lived in fear of getting that call from law enforcement that my wife took out my children before she took her. Whew. Man, that's heavy. We getting deep today, y'all. I don't want to lose her, and if you guys knew her like I did, you would know she's worth it. Well, what makes her worth it? Again, there isn't a lot. There's a lot that we don't know, and we're just people on the internet. So ultimately, there's only but so much that we can say to you about her. So, yeah. Oh, my husband and I both suffer from it at some point. We also got therapy. I needed it the most. Who is JT? JT Pocket Watcher. Wow, Curtis, that is so true. Therapy isn't working. People will suck the life right out of you. Yeah, man. I mean, I hear you're saying, and it sounds like, again, I'm only, again, for context, I have to keep saying that. We are only getting a few sentences of a whole situation. So we ultimately don't know. There's so much that we don't know. So we all have to pick what we say carefully. It's very hard to give advice. But, based off of the limited information, you know, what's making her so great to you? It sounds like you just don't want to be alone more than anything, or you don't think that you could find somebody else, because just based off of the limited information that we have, I don't see where you said anything that makes her so great. Okay, guys, I got to do some. Hey, thank you, Nikki. Appreciate you stopping by. Always, always, always. Make sure you check out her channel if you haven't already, Nikki P Vlogs. Definitely one of my favorite YouTubers. And honestly, I got three of my favorite YouTubers on right now. My boy Rich and my girl Tara, man. So I'm in heaven. Make sure you check out all three of these channels. Very, very, very positive people who share very good content and information, man. So definitely check all three of them out. But yeah, man, I don't know, bro. Like, nah, I ain't gonna lie. I don't want to go down this side, man. Bruh, I'm not going down this sad road because it ain't much to say. Like, bruh, I mean, it sounds like you want to stay. So I don't know what to tell you, dog. I wish you the best, bro. Um, Yeah. But anyways, I'm working on this budget, man. Just trying to figure out what's what. And I definitely encourage you want some advice. I'll give some advice. So here's some advice that I can give. Everybody should know how much they have coming in and how much they have going out, and come up with some type of plan in order to figure out how to manage spending. So, or budget, and it sounds crazy, it sounds simple, but a lot of us don't know how to budget because we weren't taught how to budget. And, as soon as we get money coming in, we have money going out. And that is something that we can control, or something that we can figure out and then adjust as needed. So, what I am doing as I talk to y'all, I am working on my budget. And usually I keep a budget, but let me see. All right. I met her in the third grade when we were together. We were together where we're together, and we were 13. She moved far away and we were torn apart. When I got to college, I bumped into her after 8 years. And yeah, I froze up. I froze up. The chat is still going. Okay, it looks like we're back. Huh. The time is still going, but I'm frozen. Um, Dang. Can y'all hear me? Let me. You can still hear me? That's crazy. I don't know why. Like, I'm over here moving and stuff. I don't know why the video is frozen. Let me see if I can fix it. Uh, okay, there we go. We back. We back. But yeah, man. Paco, I don't know what to tell you, brother. Well, I know what to tell you. Okay, it actually sounds clearer now. Hey, shout out to that. But yeah, man. You know, It's crispy. Hey, we in the building. But yeah, Paco. I'm, bro. Like I said, man, you gotta let the professionals do their job. If you can't do it, that's like, what I'm saying. If you got a big fire going on, I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna go back on this budget thing. If you got a fire that's going on, and you have the firefighting crew coming out, and the firefighters can't put out the fire, and you come through with like them old cartoons with a little bucket, one of them little old tin buckets, and you throwing on water trying to put out the fire, and you run into the lake and you coming back and you just throwing water, you running back and you throwing water, you know what I'm saying? What's the point, bruh? You're tiring yourself out. You're not doing anything. You're not affecting the fire whatsoever. You in the way. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any other way to say it other than you're in the way. And you're more than likely to get hurt because you shouldn't be doing that in the first place. It is out of your league. And again, it's unfortunate. Obviously we want to help people and we want to save people, but there's only but so much that you can do. And a lot of times we try to take on more than we can handle and we end up hurting ourselves. And what I'm saying, we burn ourselves out trying to save people that might not necessarily want to be saved. Because again, with her going to therapy for years and there's nothing coming out of that, either she doesn't want to get better, or she just enjoys the therapy process. I don't know. So with that, I'll say, bro, you got to figure out, and maybe you taking a step back might be what she needs to realize that you're serious. It's like, hey, look, you got to fix this, boo. I have walked away from friendships as a result of people who don't want to get. Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, we have this thing, and this is the last I'm gonna say about it, because I really got to move on. I don't want to be down and depressed, and none of us should be down and depressed. What I'll say is this: we have a bad habit of trying to hold on to things that we should have let go of a long time ago for the sake of just being for not wanting to shake up our normal routines. And no, I'm not making jokes at all. I understand that her trauma isn't a joke, but what I'm telling you, and again, this is why I don't really like to even give advice, because you know yeah, there's only but so much you can do. And again, I say it and I'm going to keep saying it because it's really the only thing that I can say. If the professionals can't figure it out, what are you going to do? And that's a question that you still haven't answered. And I challenge you to answer that question honestly. What if the professionals can't figure it out, what are you going to do? What do you have that the professionals don't have? The people that went to school for this, the people that are educated in this, the people that worked with other people that have similar situations, if they can't figure it out, then what makes you think you can? And that's not a joke. That's a very serious question. Um, Anyways, I just don't want her to be the one who got away. Bro, if she's depressed and she's not happy, she's already gone. You know, and you still haven't told us, what makes her so great other than the fact that you knew her for a long time. But yeah, so the cool thing about budgets is, you know, we think that we have to build budgets from scratch and we have to, sit down and do ABC. Um, there's a lot of, like right now, I'm on Google Sheets, and Google Sheets has a bunch of budget templates that you can use. So what I'm about to do is I'm just going to use that. It was 1 year, happiest time of my life, no issues. Then this happened. Should I still throw it away? So 1 year with this person is the happy. Well, I gotta ask you, bro. Have you had a lot of bad years? Like this is the happiest time of your life. Have you never had heartbreak or pain anymore? I'm not saying it's not gonna hurt. I'm not like Rich. I'm not just gonna say drop her, cut her cold. You know what I'm saying? You can be there and you can support her, but at the same time, you know, nothing should come before your own happiness, because if you aren't good, then you can't take care of nobody else, and that's the part that I think you're missing. You're going to give so much that you don't have anything left, and then you're going to be sad and miserable, and you're going to look back. A relationship, and I'll say this, and I promise I'm just going to have to move on. A relationship should be a two-way street, meaning that You give to someone and someone gives to you. It sounds like right now you are with someone that doesn't have the capacity to give to you. So it's not a two-way street, it's a one-way street to where you're pouring into her and you're not getting anything in return. And I'm sure you might say in your own head, well, you know, the little bit that I get from her is better than nothing. And I promise you, it sounds like you are selling yourself short because you deserve to be happy too. And you deserve to be happy with someone that's going to be willing to make you happy, or someone that has the capacity to make you happy. You being in this situation, you know, maybe you are taking a toll on her because she's trying to give you something that she can't even give herself. Like, how can you be in a relationship and say that you love someone that, doesn't really know if they love themselves because they're depressed? Those are things that you have to look at and things that you have to keep into consideration. And yeah, man, I'm not going, we can't dwell on it. There's plenty of other professionals that you might have to talk to and look into for yourself to get you some help too, and then go from there. Because, one dude on YouTube isn't going to give you the right answers or the proper help. I can't sit here and act like I'm an expert or a professional. I can't. I don't know. I don't know, bro. You got to talk to somebody that can give you that help that you need. But if you want to talk about budgeting, yeah, man. So I'm looking here on Google Docs, and they have templates that you could just plug in your numbers and edit, and you know, that helps out a lot. Let me see. I get what you're saying, but it is a give and take. Feels like a rough patch for lack of better words. But if you always quit when it gets bad at times, first time in my life, case, isn't it worthless? Again, I didn't say give up. I said, well, I did say give up. I said if you can't handle it and you get stuck, then you need to give up. But also at the same time, there's only but so much you can do, and she's got to get some sort of help. And if the therapy that she's in isn't working, then maybe she needs to find a new therapist, or maybe she needs to look at something different. If you have a broken arm and you go to the doctor and the doctor says that, oh, your arm isn't broken, but you know that your arm is broken, then you go to a different doctor. You know what I'm saying? If your car breaks down and, somebody says, oh, your car is fine, but you know that your car isn't working, then you go to a different mechanic, because you want to get your car fixed, because you want to get your arm fixed. If you can't talk and the doctor says, oh, that's normal, you just make up something, you go to a different doctor. So what I'm saying is, I got to put it back on her, because if therapy is not working and she's been in therapy for years, then, she should take it upon herself to figure out something different if she wants to get better. But yeah, Tara, these templates are very, very free. And let me see. I'm on my phone right now, but I can show y'all. So you got income, and it's super dope because it breaks down your income, it breaks down your expenses, gifts, utilities, the whole nine, and it's super free. I was sitting up here about to figure out, what I was gonna plug in and go from there. No, you good. I mean, you're not a bother, bro, at all, Paco. I definitely appreciate you stopping by, but what I'm saying is I just don't have the answers, and I'm not a professional, so I don't want to give you the wrong advice or steer you down the wrong road. All I can tell you is it seems like it kind of falls more on her. And as a person who I don't know, I think that, you got to figure out what you can handle and what's best for you. Because if you put too much on your plate trying to save somebody else, you're going to end up hurting yourself in the process. And I don't want to see you get hurt. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, so let me turn this around. Yeah, so it's super dope. You got an annual budget right here. And I didn't put any of this together. Um, you got your expenses, and it breaks everything down. You have everyday expenses, gifts, health, Medicare, home. Like, this is super detailed. This is dope. I like it. Insurance, pets, technology, transportation, and it breaks it down. It's not just like car, truck. Like, how much do you spend on gas a month? How much do you spend on car payments a month? Repairs, registration, license, the whole nine. Like, this is super, super, super structured. Travel, you know, the whole nine, breaks everything down for the year. Utilities, like, this is dope. And then others, and then you have your income. So yeah, for those of you who've been with me for a while and you've seen my old videos, you know your boy will pull out a whiteboard in a heartbeat and draw it. As a matter of fact, I think I still got one somewhere. Let me see. Yeah, here it is. We about to step up, because usually what I would do is I would just have this whiteboard and I would have income and expenses, all that. And you know, that was the plan back in the day. We had the whiteboard with it. But now I was like, and here's the thing, you know, I will write everything out on the whiteboard, as you can see, just all of the debt, everything. I will write it on this whiteboard and then take a picture of it. And then that was what I would use to calculate, you know, what we had coming in, what we had going out, and what our money looked like. But, you know, looking at this Excel spreadsheet, it is like so clearly defined, and it's so much better than, you know, what I'm looking at or what I have on this whiteboard. Now, granted, I'm not saying I'm not going to use the whiteboard, because I am a whiteboard king. I have so many whiteboards. Let me show y'all. We got a whiteboard. Look, just whiteboards, y'all. Whiteboards, whiteboards, whiteboards. We got another whiteboard over there. So yeah, I'm the whiteboard king. But at the same time, I also knew that, you know, this method wasn't really working, because I needed something that I could update on the fly when I'm out and about. And so that's what led me down the Excel spreadsheet path. And then, you know, I'm just looking and it's like, bruh, it's all laid out. All you got to do is plug in the numbers. So yeah, that's what we're transitioning to, and that's what I'm going to be focusing on and working on. And you know, we're going to come up with a comprehensive plan to figure out how to get out of debt. And then not only get out of debt, but stay out of debt. And then make sure that we practice very good spending habits, and we understand, we control, and we deal with those types of things. Because, you know, a lot of times we always think that we need more money, we need more money, we need more money. And I can tell you from personal experience, I've made more money. And that doesn't necessarily solve your problems. Like, it's not a money problem if you don't. Hey, we got my dog Birdo, got him in the building. What's going on, big Birdo? Salute to you, brother, man. All is well, bro. I'm back, man. I've been you know, working on my schedule and trying to figure out how I can get back to being more consistent and spending time with my people, man. So shout out to Birdo, man. Make sure y'all follow and subscribe to Birdo's channel if you haven't already. Birdo is a real one. Shout out to my brother Birdo, man. But yeah, you know, we just talking about boring adult stuff, budgeting and saving money and things like that, and getting out of debt and all that stuff. So yeah, and then the really cool thing, just looking at this one, I didn't show this. It also has a chart. So once I start plugging in the numbers, it'll show a green line for income, a red line for expenses. It'll break down the summary right there. So shout out to Google Sheets, man. And it'll break everything down, the whole nine. So yeah, man. What's cool and what's going to be cool, and what's gonna save a lot of people over in the next coming months or so, is having your finances on point, man. A lot of people, and you know, I was younger, and a lot of people tried to put me on game and they tried to give advice and things like that. But the issue was, you know, they didn't really know how to break it down and explain it. So it easily got lost. And then, you know, I'm honest enough to admit that, if somebody would have showed me this 10 or 15 years ago, I might not have even listened just because of where I was mentally. So, for those of you who are serious and you want to work on, getting your credit together and getting your expenses together, this is definitely something to look at. And it's just a random Google Docs. I mean, not a Google Doc, a Google Sheets sheet. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's a good point, Tara. In our community, for the most part, no one discusses money. So I partially agree with that because when it's tax time, people do not mind talking about money. You know what I'm saying? When somebody they won the lottery, they don't mind talking about money. People will talk about money as long as they're up or as long as they're doing good or if they're buying a new car. If they can brag about it, we're going to talk about some money. You know what I'm saying? Because you got the money phones, you got all the, when people and Charleston White, there's this guy Charleston White. He's an internet celebrity, I guess, and he goes viral all the time for saying crazy things. He said something the other day that I thought was pretty interesting. He said, people, you got people out here that are posting $5,000, but then they get locked up and they can't pay their bond money. You know what I'm saying? You got people that are posting $10,000 of money, showing it on the internet, but then they can't pay for their funeral when they die. Then mama has to do a barbecue or a cookout or a GoFundMe. And I was like, wow, that is so crazy because it's true. You know what I'm saying? So, we have to have those uncomfortable discussions and we got to talk about our finances and we got to talk about, fixing them and doing better. And if nobody else wants to do it, then I'll bite the bullet. We can talk about it over here at Yorktown. And I'm not going to say, dreams. I'm not going to tell you tomorrow you're going to be rich and wealthy. You know what I'm saying? And all this other stuff. Like the dating show got the big muscular plumber dude. Right. I can pull $100,000 out the bank right now. Can you? Yeah, I remember that. Like the dating show guy that stated he had $100K in the bank while doing GoFundMe for his birthday. Right, man. Like, it's just, and that is what I'm talking about. That is the you I was talking about earlier when it's like, these people make me sick. Like, bro, these people drive me crazy, man. Because it's like, bro, I know what plumbers make. Like, I'm in the construction industry. I work with plumbers. I know what plumbers make. And don't get me wrong, plumbers make bank. I'm not tripping. I'm encouraging my kids to go to get to trade school instead of going to college. Plumbers make bank. But at the same time, you know, a lot of that money is tied into the business. So if you're pulling out 100K, how does that affect your business? That's what I want to know. Like, are your people going to get paid? What does that affect? Is your marketing budget taking a hit? Like, bruh, come on now. Like, you're pulling out 100K to do what? All right. So, and plus, 100K ain't that much money. I hate to say it, and I and people get mad when you talk like that and you say it, but 100K ain't that much money. Like 100K, y'all, you can't buy a house with $100,000 no more. Um, Most cars cost $30,000 to $40,000. So the minute you buy anything with that 100K, 9 times out of 10, it's gone. You know, if you have 100K but you have a bunch of debt, then you don't really have 100K. You have 20K. So, we just got to be honest and we got to have these real conversations. And if nobody else wants to have them, then I'm just going to have them sporadically when I feel like it. But yeah, man, that's just where we are. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. It feels good to be back. And the other reason why I wasn't posting and making that many videos also was, I didn't really understand the social media policy, and the last thing that I wanted to do was shoot myself in the foot and say something crazy. So, I've been kind of just learning and sitting back, but I do miss this. I miss chopping it up with everyone, and I miss talking to people. And also, if you haven't seen my interview video I did with the store owner down there in Gastonia, North Carolina, check that out. That's a new project that I'm working on. I actually am going to be interviewing other entrepreneurs and business owners in the community and chopping it up with them. I have 2 scheduled for next week. I don't know when I'm going to drop them, but peep the video quality and the production, man. We really put a lot of time and effort into these videos. So let me see. I had to talk with Mr. Burns. I advised him put up a disclaimer since he discussed your stock. Right. You know, a lot of people, when they get into the stock market, they think of it as just this get out of jail free card, and it's just going to make them wealthy. And, you know, that's not necessarily how the stocks work. You know, it's something that you invest in and you let sit, and then you make money gradually, slowly over time. Or if you're a day trader or something like that, then yeah, you can make money a little faster, but at the same time, you're taking a lot more risk and you're gonna lose a lot. And you know, people don't really talk about that because they want you to sign up so you can take their courses and you can make money. But you know, you're gonna take losses and you have to be able to understand that and withstand that. And in order to take losses, in order to invest, you have to have money. And if you don't have money, then you can't invest. So yeah, people are going after YouTube financial gurus right now. When you focus on discussing money, you become an easy target. Yeah, and that's what the guy pocket watching with JT does. You know, he's a financial advisor. So, you know, it's easy for him to smell a scam because that's what he does. You know, he's a financial advisor. He gives financial advice and he's licensed to do so. You have a lot of people out here talking about things, which is why earlier, you know, I can't give mental health advice. I can't give relationship advice. I'm not certified in that. I'm not an expert. All I can do is give my opinion of what I think based off of what I heard, which can only be used as a grain of salt because, again, I'm not an expert. I don't have the answers. You know, if you ask me about construction, I can give you an answer because that's the field that I work in. You know, if you ask me about safety on a construction site, I have a certification for that. I could give you an answer. Or if I don't have the answer off the top of my head, I know where to go to get the answer. And you can be confident in what I told you because I have a certification in that, you know. Home inspection. If you ask me something about your home, I could give you a feedback on that because I have a credential in that. You know, it's something that I've studied. It's something that I'm working on. You know what I'm saying? You know, I can tell you about home inspection. I can tell you about your house. Look at this. You know, I have experience in that. But, you know, the internet has opened up. There you go. JT sounds like he has credentials. He does, you know, and that's the thing. These days it's about credentials, you know, what you have and what you can verify and what you can prove based off of your level of knowledge. Now, is verification and certifications everything? No, of course not. You know, you have to have in the field experience as well. But that credential shows that you're willing to put in the work and stay consistent. And yeah, man, I'm actually about to go ahead on and shut it down. But I do want to let y'all know the vlogs are coming back. I don't know how often we're going to do them, but what I am going to be pouring into full time is these interviews that I've been telling you about. You know, we got 2 coming up next week. I'm going to be interviewing local business owners in the community of Charlotte, and it's going to be high quality. It's going to be super cool, like the one that we just saw. If you haven't checked that out, make sure you do. Shout out to the good people over there in Retroville, Gastonia, North Carolina. That is my new passion, and that's what we're going to be focusing on. Interviewing people that are doing things in the community, whether it's an entrepreneur or just someone that has a nonprofit, things like that. That's what we're focusing on. But I'm about to pour in on this budget real quick, and then I'm going to get ready to go out with the family. So I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for everybody that stopped by. It's always going down in Yorktown, baby, and I am so glad to be back. Holla.